Welcome back to NASCAR Heat 5. We're still in the round of 12. Got a couple races left in the round of 12, but actually, I don't know how many races. 2, maybe? I know this is still the round of 12. All subscriber drivers that made the playoffs are still in the playoffs, like still above the top 8, so looks good for them. But after this 100 laps at Las Vegas, will it still be the same? I don't know. We're about to go out there, do a little bit of practice like we like to do. We're going to find out when I get back to you right before qualifying. I mean, now we've got our goal is getting top 5s, so we're just a little bit outside of that. I don't do qualifying type setups, so we know for a fact that when they race, they don't race at those speeds. But we're going to qualify nevertheless. Pole position, just 3.3 tenths in front of us. 3.29 tenths, if you want to be that way. Some of you might be like, hey, it's not 3.3. Learn math. And qualifying now underway.
Make it count here.
This is one of those setups that it gets real shaky in the beginning. The car gets real shaky, but as the laps wind down in a stage or a fuel run, the car settles down quite a bit. So it's a long run car. We put down a fairly fast lap, I'd say 30.55. I don't think we're gonna get.
All right.
No, not even our fastest lap in practice, but we're all right. It's okay. Top 5, Casey Kane, AJ Hale, 2 non-playoff drivers, but this is just an example of what you could see next season in the first Las Vegas race. They could get their wins, and they could be in the playoffs next season. Anyway, Jeffrey Earnhardt, Sheldon Creed, Lane Timmergan round out your top 5. Lane Timmergan being your only playoff driver up in the top 5. Matthias Espinoza, 6th. Jeremiah Graham, 7th. Max Cost, 8th. We're in 11th. Taylor Carpenter in 12th. Timothy Mathis, 13th. Bryce Egan, 15th. Matt Malone, 16th. Gary Norton, 18th. John Perez, 20th. David Schildhouse, 24th. Eliza Bethel, 25th. Michael Chavez, 28th. Brad Chastel, 32nd. Bernardo De Oliveira, 35th. And Parker Smith, 36th. 100 laps. Who's going to make it into the round of 8? Parker Smith. Well, he's not looking like himself, so he's even slower than normal. Sammy Smith, the other Smith. Failed optical scanning. He goes to the back. Cole Custer, inspection failure, to the back as well.
Starter has the green flag in his hand. Be ready. Green's out now. Let's go. Outside.
As we shift up through the gears, we're going to jump to the inside of Mayer.
All right, you're clear there.
Although with Max Cost there, can I get to the inside of Graham and kind of cut Max Cost from getting down on us? Yes, we can. I got to get on the brakes, though, because we actually came up behind Lane, and he was slowed up by Sheldon Creed. We get back to the gas, trying to put some separation between us and Cost, because every race we go without any contact with him is a big win for our relationship. So we drop through here.
Still there.
And we get around, and Cost is still following us on the outside. Go away!
Clear all around.
Do this, get on the gas. There we go. Early on, like I said, she shimmies a lot, but it breaks it down eventually as we get in behind in 3rd place. A lot of quick moves got us into this spot, but Cost is actually right behind Espinoza. We're going to want to get around Hale.
Still there.
So that we can put another car between us.
No mistake here. All right, you're clear there.
And see if we can hang this car around turn 2 without any issue. All right, we've got Cost by almost a second. And again, he's also a playoff driver, so that's another reason why it matters, not just because he's a rival. But if I can have another clean race, it's just another step toward him not hating us. No change at all in the Cup Series. We ended up with... I will not be winning the championship in that on purpose. That's weird to do simply because I'm running the races a lot shorter because I don't have the time to do that without recording them. So I run them a lot shorter just so I don't have contact with drivers, and hoping it improves. It's improved relationships, which is good. I mean, we all know I'm a good driver. Obviously, I have almost everybody out here is a friend on this. It just was some weird stuff. Well, the Cup Series happened because I didn't realize the hot seat would actually do what it did. The hot seat is not good for us. It was where we ran into a bunch of Cup drivers thinking that it wouldn't affect our relationship with them. Little did I know that that all carried over. So we went into it with a bunch of drivers that were already, they weren't rivals, but they were pretty close. And as soon as we had one or two mess ups, it really went poorly for us overall. We're doing all right here, though, as we are actually inside of Casey Kane's draft. That's pulling us up to him. I don't know how burned up the tires are. Well, they're not terrible. I'm going to switch it before they get terrible. Switch that screen right off. But with the draft from Kane, we're able to catch up to him, and that's really nice for us. Not that I don't want to win, but I don't need to win right now. I just need to have a comfortable race. I need to have a good, I do want to finish well, but we have already secured our second round entry with wins at Bristol. And I want to, of course, continue to improve relationships with all the drivers in the Xfinity series. Whew. That was, although that looked very probably clean, that was on the edge of what this car can do. That was definitely on the edge of what this car can do. We were very close to not being able to turn it and putting it up into a wall. And you can tell that by how we've gapped some of these drivers out here.
Still there.
It's been a really good run for us so far. Kane gets a nice run off because he had the inside position, but he's not going away, and we're actually going to probably get to his fender going into 3.
Stay low, stay low.
Oh, yeah, and he can definitely run 3 and 4 better than us. I don't particularly know what to do with that. There we go.
Still there.
All right. Trying to get it. It's a heck of a battle right here with the 3 of us. Let's see.
Stay on the bottom.
Ooh, look at how close that was. That was close. I mean, I think we're going to get the position at some point.
Careful. Still there. Inside.
Ooh. I'm not going to go down in front of him. I considered it, and I'm just not going to do it.
Still there.
Espinosa deserves to be up here. He's having a good race so far. Let's see if we can... Oof. Yeah.
That's the halfway mark.
Just trying to make good decisions, be up with this top 3. You know, maybe we'll get a nice jump off at the beginning of stage number 2 and be able to gap them a little bit. Obviously, still a lot of time left in the race as we're talking about the end of the race already. But when I'm thinking about strategies and things I have to consider, restarts, pit strategy, even just our pit stop, our pit crew, definitely an all-star group of guys. They'll get us position as well, and that may put us in a good spot. I do not like that shimmying, though, and it's the setup, and I forgot about that, but, I mean, it's fine. The car seems to react okay-ish. I say ish because I feel it in the steering wheel quite a bit, and if I were to look at my tire wear, my tire wear is all right, I guess. I'm going to be concerned about stage 3. I guess we'll see what happens overall. Ooh, a little bit of a touch on the apron. Are we going to... Okay, good. Thought we were going to push us right up to the wall. Wide track, wider than what we've been on recently. We virtually had narrow Darlington, DNF, narrow-ish Richmond, DNF, and then Bristol, tight, small. We handled it. Ooh. That was a wall. I went to go swing it up, and we swung it up a little too much. What does suck, though, is we've got, we're going to get through this in the 7 seconds we put max cost down. It's all going to go away because we're obviously not going to lap 5th place. So, although we're all hanging out here, in the end, I just don't see it mattering. Just 7 left to go in stage number 1, so we'll speed things up until the end of the stage and be back on the mic with you, well, at the end of stage 1.
Won that stage. Way to go, driver.
You wonder if somebody blew a tire, because if we had 3 more laps to go, we would not have made it without pitting. It's 7% tire wear. We were going to bring it around just fine, but we would have been at 5% tire wear. Maybe 1 more lap we could have done. We cannot do a full fuel run with these tires unless I figure out how to save them. What in first, come out in first. Only changes. Carpenter and Mathis both move up some spots.
Keep your head on straight. Be ready. Ready. Car on the outside now.
All drivers appear to still be in the race, even after the caution.
No mistake here.
I don't foresee us remaining up here like this, so we're just going to do what we can. But I don't see us sticking through with this lead or anything. I got Kane and Espinoza, definitely, unless they're racing side by side. They'll definitely catch us. Maybe even Chavez and Norton will catch us, to be honest. I don't know, but I want to run more of the middle and try to limit that shimmy. I don't know. Yeah, there's Kane when we went through 1 and 2. If I don't push it hard, I mean, he gained 3 tenths on us going through 1 and 2, 4 tenths now. Does that mean that because I did that way, I can kind of fix it going through 3 and 4? Maybe. I don't know. Doesn't look like it, though. Drop down on the apron here because it's Las Vegas. Well, we gained a tenth there, but we're about to lose 4 tenths here, and he's going to be right on my bumper. Unless I do this, which is going to shimmy and shake my whole car. And my concern, obviously, immediately, we're down 6%. And we've driven 2 laps. So we'll be down. And we're going to drop more than that, actually. I should watch this. So let's start. We're going to be at 90, let's say 90%. Or 90, well, 91. 91 at the line. We lost 1%, 2%, 3% going, 4% going through 1 and 2. Wow. Did I accidentally mess up because I changed the amount of laps that I run in the Cup Series, and I don't know if maybe I changed the wear? That's an incredible, we went from 90, we almost lost 10% in 1 lap, or yeah, 1 lap, 10% on the right rear. How is that even possible? But then that time, we don't lose. We lose 1%. I don't know. I might have to let these cars go. Something's wrong with this setup. I cannot run that way. This time coming around, we're at 4% total. Hit the wall, 5%. Kane runs into us, spins him out. That'll bring out a caution.
Caution.
I don't know what to do here. Also hate that for Casey Kane running into us like that, and he's in 5th. He didn't lose anything. They froze it.
Be ready. Green, green, green. Outside, outside. All right.
All right, paying attention. 12 left, so we don't really have to worry about this stage, but obviously the overall concern comes from post stage 2 into stage 3. Are we going to end up like splitting it up or what? Also, I think it's 2 stops anyway. So I'm not really sure, but tire wear is just massive in this setup, and I didn't really notice it until we were paying attention to, obviously the tire warning came up, and I started to look, and I was like, well, what's going on with that? And then I looked at how much gas. We still had 8 laps left in the car. We had 20% tire left in the right rear. And, of course, we're at 70% right now. We don't really have to worry. We can drive it as hard as we want. And really, as hard as we want is just to stay out front. Schildhaus has made his way up into 4th, 5th place. He's racing with Casey Kane. Little side-by-side action right there. Oh, whoa. Uh-oh. We're good. Oh, we're not good. Okay, there we are. Wow, that was crazy. I tapped the apron slightly, and it just sent us up the track hard.
All right, you're clear there.
Well, let's get it back together.
Car on the outside now.
Yeah, I gotta run a different setup next year.
Clear up top there.
I gotta pay attention to that too. I'll have to make a note that I need to run a different setup for Vegas. I don't know how I'm gonna remember. Because by the time I run this track again, it's going to be next season some point. So we'll have to pay attention to it, though, and not run this setup because these tires are absolutely toast. Any contact in a corner sends us all the way up the track. We had to come off the gas to avoid getting wrecked. None of these cars are for playoff, so I guess it doesn't really matter anyway. It does to me. We're racing. We want to win the race. Always.
Careful.
Wow, I barely touched him. Didn't even register. That was a loud noise.
Careful, still there.
I don't think that these are aluminum bumpers. Made like a metal on metal noise.
Careful, still there. Careful, still there.
Here comes Kane on the outside. Huge run in the draft. That's going to give him the position on me.
Still there inside. Clear low.
We're going to fight back for it in the draft ourselves. We're going to drop it down on the apron and see if we can get some more. Ooh, hit a bump there. That was crazy.
Car high, careful there. Clear all around.
See, it doesn't do it there. How come it didn't do it there? That's really weird. I wonder if I, like, super tight to the inside, if it works, or was it the draft that counteracted it? I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's that I wasn't tight because I was up in the second lane there and we got a little bit of a wobble.
Careful, still there. Careful,
Nope,
still there.
we went up too high there. What happened to Espinoza? We had no contact with him. He dropped, that whole group dropped way back. That's really weird. I don't know what happened there at all. There was no contact. You would have heard it. Slight contact in these cars is pretty loud.
Careful, still there.
So I'm not really sure what happened there. We got just 5 laps left. Man, and I bet we still end up down in the 20. Oh, thank you. All right, well, we're going to have like 2 probably to go. See if we can get a nice jump and hold off Chavez for a victory in the stage. Oh, we got a car out of the race.
Inside, inside.
Who was that?
2 laps left. Stay calm.
Was that Carpenter, maybe? I don't know. It looked like it was a blue car. I'm not quite sure who that was. Well, we've got the lead we want. Can we hang on to it? We'll have to take a look at who's on. It might have been, no, Espinosa's right there in 4th. Espinoza had that really big drop back, and it made no sense. There was no contact with us, and I didn't cut him off, so I didn't understand why he dropped back like he did, and I thought maybe he was the cause of the caution, but he's not. He's still in the race. He's in 4th place just fine. And it looks like, at least through fortune of cautions, we're going to bring home a Stage 2 victory. So that matters.
Good job.
Schildhaus jumps Espinoza to move himself up into 4th. Aside from that, nothing going on in the top 10.
Ready. Outside.
That is Taylor Carpenter with a DNF. I did make an adjustment to my tire pressure. And I'm hoping it does something. I don't know if it will at all. Car is shimmying still, so probably not. Although we did only use up 1. I have to be mindful of my tires. That's all I can do is be mindful of the tires, and I don't know if... I don't know how mindful I can be of them. We lost 2% that lap. If we do that, we have no problem getting through on tires, but we're about to change that right now. We'll lose... Ooh. Okay. Maybe I fixed the problem with my lowering of the air pressure. I'm not sure. Temperatures are still working their way up, so maybe not. Maybe temps will go up and we'll still be in a bit of a problem, but we went that whole lap only using up 1%. 51 left in the race. We've got a lot of race to go, so we've got a lot of opportunity to mess up. But if we just figured out how we can get through this stage without having to short stop, we can do 1 pit. But if we have to short pit because of our tires, we cannot 1 stop this thing, and we'll be in a lot of trouble. Car's running well. Chavez is catching us.
That's the halfway mark.
Norton, obviously, right there. We'll probably do the same thing. I had to slow down a little bit more than I wanted to for that turn because I came in at a real shallow angle, and, of course, that brought Chavez into our draft. Not going to pay attention to my rear view. I'm just going to drive my line, and they can figure out a way around me unless I screw up, and then they can just drive right around me because I screw up. Chavez looks to the outside. We got on the gas just early enough that is not going to be a problem. We make it through 1 and 2 well. And yeah, now we've dropped quite a bit. So I don't know if we're going to be able to do it. I haven't been driving it any differently than I was the first couple laps. It's almost like as the laps go on, we just burn it up more because the heat stays in the tires. That's probably what's going on. What do we got? 48. What do we have in the tank? 21. 6 laps, 80%. 20% in 6 laps. That means we could do 30 laps. Just quick math there. We could do 30 laps if we do 20% every 6 laps. So it's doable because we only have 27 in the tank without a caution. We'll have to see. Obviously, we have ranged as many as 5% in a lap. But if we're down on 4% a lap, we can do it. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Brendan Poole, playoff driver, has made his way into the top 5. This would be a really huge finish for him in securing his spot into the round of 8. We're hanging out here with Gary Norton leading the race, and I am okay with that. The draft, obviously, a big helper, especially in potentially saving tires. Of course, if I don't drive it down, I open the door, and here comes Chavez. He slightly taps us, moves us up out of the way. I pinched him way too hard, so that made sense that he would do that. This time I'm going to try to just hang with these cars. What are we looking? 67%, 19 laps left. We basically need to be at about 13 to go with 50% to know that we can make it the whole run.
Hold your line, got one inside.
I didn't get on the gas early enough because I was trying to avoid hitting Espinoza. It's usually right around that time that you're
Got one outside now.
not passing them or not gaining on them just enough that you should get back on the gas like I just did there with Poole. See how he didn't drive away that time? It doesn't feel right. It feels like that shouldn't be how it would work. But when you touch the gas again, remember, you had just slowed down and kind of like the world hasn't caught up with the fact that you slowed down quite yet. When you hit the gas, you don't just launch yourself into the car in front of you. They're still accelerating, and you're trying to actually start to accelerate again. So what doesn't feel right, that time it was the corner itself, but what doesn't feel right is actually okay. We're going to try to catch into Gary's draft, and we do.
You got room, you're clear there.
And that's very nice. 56%, 16 laps, so I don't think we can do it. We'd have to make it 3 more laps, only giving up 3 or 6%. That's 2% a lap. And we just did this turn probably faster than we have in recent laps, so we lost 2%. I know it's crazy that I'm doing it like that, but without a caution, if there's a caution on this first stage, we'll be fine. But if we don't have a caution on this first stage, or not stage, first fuel run, we're in trouble. It's a great race. It's been a great race. Tires are actually just as challenging to me right now, though, as anything on this track. We can catch Chavez. I can stay with Chavez for a while, but we're short. We're short on tire wear.
Still there.
Catch him. Gonna come out of it way early. Back on it. We had the preferred position, but I don't think their tire wear is nearly what ours is. Now, if I start to see cars pitting with 5 to go on, with us having 5 or so left in the tank, I will be excited. But if they don't, we're in trouble. 40 to go in the race. It's been an exciting one so far, in my opinion. Espinoza gaining back on us. We're going to make sure he doesn't take that spot. Control the line. And we kind of faded up a little there, but we got a good run. I mean, we're not even, our tires aren't even hot. 245 coming off that corner is not hot. That means we're in the 230s. Yeah, we're in the 230s here. What? I do not understand the wear on this track. It's weird.
Got one inside. You got room, you're clear there.
It's very weird to me. And I'm using Chavez's draft to help kind of save my tire wear. That's why I've not made any moves on him again, because I really feel like we can do the thing to stay in our spot. Now, I don't mind Espinoza being there. He's got to figure out a way around us. No big deal. We're not cutting him off or anything.
Caution.
That is the most important thing I could see, except for the fact that we're all going to pit, and we still have to pit one more time then. But everyone has to pit one more time then. Yes, everyone's pitting. Well, we jumped Chavez in the pits because we've got an all-star pit crew,
Coming to the green.
and that's
Driver.
nice.
Ready. Green flag. Car
I just
high.
saw Kenseth in the top 10. Wonder,
Clear all
I mean,
around.
obviously a victory would put him, he's not going to get it in this race, but obviously a victory would put him into the round of 8. I don't know if, unless somebody has a really low position, a low finish here, will we see him creep his way into the top 8? We'll find out at the end of the race, of course. And with us pitting, we're going to run this one out, this fuel run out, and we'll be back on the mic when we're pitting for the final time in this race.
Got one outside now.
Everyone pit except for the cars in front of us. they did not pit. There's no way.
Ready.
So that should be interesting.
All right, you're clear there.
We have 23 in the race, 27 in the tank. Can we preserve our tires enough to run 23 laps? That would be the longest run we've had. But I feel like it's the longest run we've had by 1 lap, and this is saying that there's not going to be another caution. Yeah, we could get there. I mean, I think we could do it. Also found that if I don't end up in the middle or higher on the track, that we don't get that shimmy. If I get right down on the line, it works out pretty well.
Still there.
So that's good.
Top 3, use it if you need it. Car outside. All right,
there we go.
Clear.
See, as I bring it down, we lose that shaking in the front end. So I just have to make sure that that's what I'm doing. Brennan Poole, if he wins this one, secures himself in the round of 8.
Car there on the outside.
So that's a big deal for him. Of course, my goal is for that not to happen. So I'll jump to his inside. He did not pit. We are faster than him.
All clear.
Of course, I have to slow way down to get into the turn because I was shallow. And now that's going to kind of open the door for a number of cars. Come on, Chavez, give me a push. And he will.
Still there.
Through the draft, obviously, not a physical push.
Looking inside now.
And we're going to hold. Wow, Casey Kane jumps to Brennan Poole's inside. Brennan Poole comes up into our door. That's going to cause him to slow way down and lose a spot to Kane. And that's going to, well, open the door for us to get into first place again with Casey Kane in tow. Brennan Poole now dropping behind Gary Norton. And Daniel Hemrick looking to pounce on his misfortune as well. Hemrick, towards the end of the season, had really started to get on a hot streak and just missed out on the playoffs. We have got... oh. I burned up my tires more than normal doing what I just did to get into the lead. That's not great in general. It's just not great. Now I have to try to figure out, here I was, can I save the tires enough to make our longest run yet? And then I do something stupid and basically burn up three of our laps in worth a percentage on that right rear. Normally we're at 19 laps left in the tank when we're at 80%. We're at 21 laps right now at 75% on the right rear. Oh boy. We're gonna need another caution. or the caution might be us when we blow a tire and end up going to the back at the end of the race and lose out. This could be very bad. We'll see what happens. I mean, we're running it. We're not going to stop. We are not going to stop. Okay. What are we going to do here? 16 at the line. We almost want to watch the tires more than we want to. We know we're in first place. Can I like get some laps? Well, that was 2% right there. I was going to say, can I get some laps where I get 3% total? I guess it's possible if we don't do more than 1% here, but we just did 1% right there, so it's going to be a 4% at least lap. There's 4. 4% per lap with 15 to go. That's 60%. We're going to be, I mean, we're cutting it so very close. And all of a sudden, we're shimmying this thing really bad.
Inside, all clear.
I think we could do it. I think that caution was all we really needed. That was a 3% lap. 4 right after the line, but I really think that that's this will be a 1% turn. So we're down 2 total. I know this is crazy, but this is, if I were the crew chief, this is what I'd be. Well, you're not watching that because there's no way to do it, but in a video game I would be. 3. Yeah. All right. All right. And just hit the 4th right there. We're driving away from Kane. I feel like he's worn it out a little bit. He stuck with us for a while. He's not been able to continue to do so. As I am just staring at the tire wear going on my car right now. 12 to go. I'm really going to need it to be at 50% with 10 or 9 to go. Maybe? No, it's not going to be. It's going to be at 50% when we exit this turn. No, but here comes Casey Kane. We had driven away from him. I haven't changed anything. That was weird. He just got a crazy run out of nowhere. Then he goes middle, and he loses it. And he's going to lose my draft because I'm going to drive on the apron. That was a 3/10 slower lap than normal. Certainly wouldn't be too upset with another late caution. It's not going to happen, but it would be nice. 45%, probably what we're going to have with 10 to go.
10 to go.
44%. Technically, right now, we should finish with 8 or 7% left. If my mathematication has worked. Where did he come from? We have not slowed down. I decided that this was going to be kind of a checkers or wreckers situation, where we're just going to drive the crap out of the car. He ducks inside. We get the run off. We're going to be side by side coming off the straightaway. Oh, no, we're not. We got a huge run. Got the position back. But we're going to burn these tires up doing what I just did. He's right back on the inside. Come on, man. I got to let him go so I can get into his draft and pull back on him. I mean, at this point, I could just run in his draft and try to set him up on the last lap if we are doing just fine at that point.
Still there?
Also, this long run, we've got, looks like Parker Smith sitting there in last. We could be getting some lap traffic, causing issues as well.
Still there.
7 to go in the race, 31% in the right rear.
Stay on the bottom.
Unbelievable.
Careful, still there.
All right.
Careful, still there.
Oh, it's going to be a tight one. 27%, 6 to go. It's going to be more like 3% left, but that's, I mean, we need 1% to get us over the line, so we got around him. That's a big move. Hopefully, Parker Smith will actually get in his way, not in our way. And we'll be able to pass him. Or kind of gap him a bit.
5 to go, this time by. Got a car high now. Clear high, clear high.
Nope. He got right around him. That sucks. All right. Yep, got our warning, but 4 to go. We're going to blow this tire, or we're going to win this race. Brennan Poole up in 3rd place, 4th place, battling it out with Gary Norton. Casey Kane coming back up on us out of nowhere. He keeps dropping back, and then all of a sudden he just gets huge bursts and catches right back up to us. It's kind of crazy. Three to go. Oops. That wasn't what we wanted at all. Hang on to it, hang on to it, hang on to it. It's going to be a battle. What? Oh, we do not want this in our life. Oh, NASCAR overtime. Okay. That couldn't have been for us. Again, we barely tagged the wall. If it was for us, do I need to turn down the caution so that doesn't happen anymore? There's a strict caution, which I haven't set to, and then there's a more lenient caution. I don't really know. I don't mind it being on lenient. It's kind of fun. We get to jump off the line. The tires do not matter anymore. We could really do like 6% per lap right now and be completely, well, maybe not. We could do 10% per lap. Push this thing as hard as we possibly can.
You got 1 to go.
1 lap left. I know you want me to say it, but I won't tell you who it's presented by, because we're not sponsored. But what I will tell you is we battled it out with Casey Kane and Matthias Espinoza all race long. And through strain and stress of tire wear, we've been able to come out here and get ourselves another victory. And this time, it's in Las Vegas. Let's burn this thing down. Out into the grass. Ruin the logo for tomorrow's race. We already blew that engine. Our engine is very sensitive. That's all right, though. That was pretty awesome. Top 5. Tony Savoy, Casey Kane, Matthias Espinoza, Michael Chavez, Gary Norton. AJ Hill comes in 8th. David Schildhouse 9th. John Perez 11th. Max Cost 12th. Eliza Bethel 13th. Timothy Mathis 15th. Bryce Egan 18th. Matt Malone 22nd. Bernardo De Oliveira 25th. Jeremiah Graham 28th. Lane Tibbergen comes in 32nd place. That's not great for his playoffs. Bradshaw Stout 33rd, Parker Smith 35th, and Taylor Carpenter DNF'd this one. There's our generic Xfinity Series trophy for the race. Fastest lap goes to Matthias Espinoza. Most laps led, that goes to us, 62% of the laps. On the move, Brennan Poole 28th to 6th, playoff driver, making rounds. Tough break, Jeffrey Earnhardt starts 3rd, finishes 31st. In the next episode, we will be heading over to another road course. That's right, the Charlotte Roval. A fantastic idea for the playoffs. I don't know if you can sense my sarcasm, but that's what you're getting. I do terrible at this track. Good news is, we have already assured our advancement into the round of 8. And here are your top 8 drivers right now. Unfortunate for Matt Malone, he has fallen out of the top 8 and could be one of our first subscriber casualties. Austin Hill, Matt Kenseth, Sam Mayer also in that bottom 4. But folks, that is going to do it for this episode. I'd like to take a moment out to say thank you so very much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Please do take an equal moment to hit that like button for me to let you know how much you appreciate me taking the time to produce this video. Thank you so very much. Until next time, and as always, you take care.